Two people, same income, same expenses, but one ends up wealthy while the other struggles financially. Ever wondered why? Could it be luck, fate, or something else entirely? What if I told you that the secret to wealth isn't always about how much you earn, but rather how you manage what you earn? Welcome to our channel. Today, we're talking about the 7 bad money habits that could be keeping you from becoming wealthy. These are habits that many of us fall into without even realizing it. Before we get started, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on our next videos. Let's start with the first bad habit, not saving. It's a common trap that many of us fall into. When we get our paycheck, we're often tempted to spend it on things we want, rather than setting aside a portion for the future. But wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Think about it this way. You have a leaky bucket full of water. No matter how much water you pour in, if you don't fix the leak, you'll always end up with an empty bucket. The same principle applies to your finances. If you spend everything you earn, you'll never accumulate wealth. So how can you fix this leak? The answer is simple. Start saving. Now, I know you might be saying, but I barely have enough to cover my expenses. How can I save? Well, my friend, the key is to start small. Even saving a small amount consistently can add up over time. As Benjamin Franklin puts it, a penny saved is a penny earned. Here's a practical tip. You can follow the pay yourself first principle. This means that as soon as you receive your paycheck, set aside a certain percentage for savings before you spend on anything else. And it could be 10%, 20%, or whatever works for you. The important thing is to make it a habit. Next, you can consider opening a separate savings account. This can help you avoid the temptation to dip into your savings for everyday expenses. Plus, it can be incredibly satisfying to see your savings grow month by month. Moving on to the second bad habit, impulse buying. We've all been there. You're walking through a store or browsing online and you see something that catches your eye, and before you know it, you've made a purchase that you didn't plan for. That, my friends, is impulse buying. It is like a sweet tooth for your wallet. It might feel good in the moment, but it can leave a sour taste in your financial health. And it's a habit that can quickly lead to mounting credit card bills and a dwindling bank account. So why do we impulse buy? Well, it's often driven by emotions. Maybe you're feeling stressed and shopping seems like a quick fix to lift your mood. Or perhaps you're feeling bored and buying something new adds a little excitement to your day. But let me tell you, the satisfaction from impulse buying is usually short-lived, and it can leave you with a pile of stuff you don't really need or want. So how can you curb this habit? Firstly, when you feel the urge to buy something on impulse, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Can I afford it? Will I still want it tomorrow? This can help you make more mindful purchasing decisions. And I know it's okay to treat yourself now and then, so you can consider setting aside a small portion of your budget for fun spending. This can satisfy your urge to shop without breaking the bank. Retailers often send tempting deals and discounts straight to your inbox. If you find these hard to resist, consider unsubscribing from marketing emails. Another way is, whether you're grocery shopping or buying clothes, always shop with a list. This can help you stay focused on what you need and resist the temptation to buy on impulse. Next up, let's talk about the third bad money habit, not investing. It's a common misconception that investing is only for the wealthy. But the reality check is, you don't need to be rich to invest, but you do need to invest to become rich. Paul Samuelson once said, investing should be more like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. If you want excitement, take $800 and go to Las Vegas. So why do many of us shy away from investing? Well, we think it's often due to fear and lack of knowledge. The world of investing can seem complex and intimidating. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, where do you even start? Firstly, educate yourself. There are plenty of resources available online to help you understand the basics of investing. Books, podcasts, online courses. So take advantage of these resources to build your investing knowledge. And don't worry, you don't need a lot of money to start investing. Many investment platforms allow you to start with as little as $100. The key is to start early and invest regularly, no matter how small the amount. If you still don't know where to start, or if you're new to investing, we suggest you watch our video on 10 assets that can make you wealthy. Next on our list is a habit that's all too common, living paycheck to paycheck. It's like being in a boat that's constantly taking on water. You're always bailing it out, just trying to stay afloat. But what if you could fix the leak and sail smoothly towards your financial goals? Living paycheck to paycheck means you're using most or all of your monthly income to cover your monthly expenses, with no money left over for savings or emergencies. It's really a stressful way to live, leaving you vulnerable to unexpected expenses and giving you little room to maneuver if something goes wrong. So why do so many of us fall into this trap? Well, it often comes down to two things, which are income and expenses. If your income is low or your expenses are high, or both, it can feel like you're always scrambling to make ends meet. The first step to stop living paycheck to paycheck is to understand where your money is going. Keep a record of all your expenses for a month, from rent and bills to coffee and takeout. You might be surprised to see where your money is going. Always look at your spending record and see if there are any areas where you can cut back. Maybe you're spending a lot on dining out, or your cable bill is higher than it needs to be. Every little bit helps. Once you know where your money is going, you can create a budget. Which brings us to the fifth bad habit, not budgeting. If you don't know, budgeting is the process of creating a plan for your money. It's a way to ensure that you have enough money for the things that are important to you. But despite its importance, many people avoid budgeting. It can seem overwhelming, time-consuming, or just plain boring. Well, let me tell you, it doesn't have to be so complicated. In fact, it can be quite simple, and the benefits are worth it. As John C. Maxwell puts it, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So once you've tracked your expenses, categorize them. This could be as simple as needs, wants, and savings. Or you could use more detailed categories like housing, food, transportation, and entertainment. When you finally sort out where your money is coming from and going to, you can create your budget. Allocate a specific amount to each category based on your income and financial goals. Yes, it's easy at start, but sticking to it is the hard part. It's a tool to help you manage your money. If it's not working, adjust it. Let's move on to the sixth bad money habit, relying on credit. Credit cards, loans, overdrafts, these are all forms of credit that many of us rely on to get by. And while credit can be a useful tool when used wisely, relying on it for everyday expenses can lead to a cycle of debt that's hard to break free from. So why do we rely on credit? Well, it often comes down to convenience and instant gratification. Credit allows us to buy things now and pay for them later. And this convenience comes at a cost, interest. And the longer you take to pay back your credit, the more interest you'll pay. But the good news is that it's possible to break free from the cycle of credit. Once you've created the budget, try building an emergency fund. It will be a safety net for you. It's money set aside to cover unexpected expenses or to keep you afloat if you lose your income. Having an emergency fund can reduce your reliance on credit, and if you're already in debt, make a plan to pay it off. Start with the highest interest debt first, while still making minimum payments on your other debts. This is known as the avalanche method. Finally, let's discuss the seventh bad money habit, not planning for the future. Remember that planning for the future is a crucial part of financial success. It's about setting financial goals and making a plan to achieve them. But sadly, despite its importance, many people avoid planning for the future. It can seem overwhelming, uncertain, or just too far away to think about. However, the future is coming, whether we plan for it or not, and those who plan for it are more likely to be prepared when it arrives. So, how can you start planning for your financial future? Firstly, ask yourself, do you want to buy a house? Retire early? Travel the world? Setting clear, specific financial goals can give you something to aim for. Once you have your goals, create a financial plan to achieve them. This might include saving a certain amount each month, investing in certain assets, or reducing your expenses, just like we talked about earlier. And trust me, it's never too early to start saving for retirement. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Consider opening a retirement account and contributing regularly. Lastly, get insurance. It can protect you and your family from financial hardship in case of unexpected events like illness, disability, or death. Well, that's it for today. We've covered the 7 bad money habits that could be keeping you from becoming wealthy. If you enjoyed the info in this video, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits resonated with you the most? Do you have any tips or strategies to share? Drop your comments below. And before you go, don't forget to check out our video on 9 money rules the wealthy know that the poor don't. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon. Thanks for watching.